This is Markin Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Follow on Twitter. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Marking Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Brennan likes fisting. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. We're marking out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans.
Welcome to Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. This is episode 778. Thanks for listening. Make sure that you're checking out markinout.com. Also, subscribe and download wherever you are listening to podcasts, especially on Spotify. Give us a 5-star rating to go with that 5-star Frog Splash. Also, buy a t-shirt over at prowrestlingtees.com/markinout. Give us a like on Facebook. Give us a follow on Instagram at markinout11. Also TikTok at markinout and Twitter at markinout. You can follow me, Dave the Rave, on all social media platforms at DavidPTDPT. Follow Chris at CMSweeney85 on Instagram and Chris Sweendog over on Twitter. And Brandon BTTG161. Brandon, how are you?
I am doing awesome as always. Happiest of New Year's to everybody. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Yes, Happy New Year. It is officially 2026 when we are recording this, and it's going to be a great year. You gotta speak it out there. It's going to be an absolutely incredible year. And excited for it. How was your New Year's Eve?
I got a chicken cutlet hero for New Year's Eve, and that's about it. I watched Stranger Things. We'll talk about that later on. That was probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was the biggest thing for me as well. Stranger Things and bringing in the new year correctly, and we're just anticipating all the positivity.
We're in that stretch right now where we recorded before the Christmas episodes of Stranger Things dropped. Or I shouldn't say Christmas episodes. I should say the chapter that dropped on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're now obviously in 2026, so we know what happens. So it was a big Stranger Things week for everyone.
It was a great week for Stranger Things, but we'll talk more about that. I know. But let's get into talking about Monday Night Raw, which kicked off with The Vision.
Yeah, Paul Heyman said that CM Punk could have been in The Vision, but he played to the fans and didn't listen to Paul Heyman, and I feel like that was added in just because the fans were chanting CM Punk at him.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that in 5 years, you'll be seeing them as WrestleMania main eventers. Austin Theory is now officially in the group. Theory hyped up Braun Breaker as the next World Heavyweight Champion. And then CM Punk came out and he said that he and Braun Breaker should clear the air face-to-face without the Vision. Braun Breaker invited him into the ring. He's like, we won't hurt you. Paul actually had the group leave the ring. And then Braun Breaker said that he's tired of everyone calling him the future because he's the now. CM Punk said that Braun Breaker is probably more ready than anybody in that locker room to be champion, but he's not ready for Braun Breaker to be champion. He's not ready to lose the World Heavyweight Championship yet. I think overall, I think this was a good segment, but I feel like they could have shaved some minutes off of this. This whole segment was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, kind of because of how prolonged this entire segment was, it definitely took me out of it. And sometimes that could happen for me personally with long segments and promos and stuff like that. It didn't really show me anything that was different that we haven't heard or seen or expected already.
Like, because it went from the Vision section of this promo to Braun Breaker and CM Punk. There was no break or anything in between there. No, I would most likely like for that to just be like, it makes no sense to come back at a later time and do it, but it just went too long for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. First matchup of the evening, Stephanie Vicaire picked up the victory over Nikki Bella and Raquel Rodriguez to retain her championship. I thought that this match was definitely solid. I think everybody brought a little bit of a different piece of the puzzle into this matchup, and I thought that they did a really good job. And I was actually surprised because usually I'm very hard on Nikki Bella's in-ring performances and stuff like that, which, I mean, I'm not as hateful as a lot of the other people out there, let's face it. But I thought it was a really good match.
Before the match, Liv Morgan backstage kind of planted seeds of doubt in Raquel's head in regards to Roxanne Perez. So it'll be interesting to see where that leads to. But this match, there really wasn't like a lull moment in it. It was always like go, go, go. Something was always happening in the match. I liked when Nikki Bella had the Fearless Lock on Raquel, and the fans were chanting, "Thank you, Cena." And she's like, "No, thank me." I thought that was great. But a lot of fans, they just have the brains of a goldfish, because she used that move recently at Clash in Paris, and people were like, "Oh my God, she's doing an STFU for John Cena." Like, as if she's never used this before. When in reality, it dates back to like 2017. And she just recently told a story that when she was returning from that injury, she was working with Natty. I forget who else she said, but she wanted to add a submission move. It's not the STFU. People are like, "She's doing it wrong." It's not. She's doing it wrong. Look at her doing it wrong.
Yeah, she's been doing it for a long time.
Since 2017. Yes, she might have been inspired to do an STF variation because she was with John Cena at the time. But she's been doing it.
Yeah.
The Tower of Doom.
I think that the fans are just hateful.
Goldfish. They're goldfish. That's what they are.
Yeah.
The Tower of Doom spot, the setup for that, I think, was like such a wild setup, where Nikki was the one to trigger the sunset flip powerbomb leading to that superplex. Raquel at one point almost hit the Tejana bomb on both Nikki and Stephanie Vicaire at the same time. Vicaire got out of it and then pushed Raquel Rodriguez out of the ring when she hit it on Nikki Bella, and she actually stole the victory there.
Yeah, it was a solid victory, and I'm okay with her stealing the victory like that.
That was very unexpected, though.
Yeah, I think Vicaire is going to have a phenomenal 2026.
I mean, she had a great 2025. Realistically,
no, 100%.
I mean, she was a top contender for Wrestler of the Year. Kabuki Warriors had a segment after that. Asuka said that Rio paid for their disrespect last week. And then Rio came out, the Kabuki Warriors left the ring, and then Rio went out to fight them. This pushes the title match for next week in Brooklyn. I don't know. I can't see the Kabuki Warriors losing. But at the same time, I could also see them losing. So I don't know. Maybe I could see them lose.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of could see them losing. I feel like the crowd didn't respond to them as much when they were doing the promo stuff, though.
I don't know.
But next up, you had Gunther pick up the victory over R-Truth.
Which stemmed from R-Truth interrupting Gunther to talk about how Gunther's been acting since beating John Cena. R-Truth did not come out, he didn't come out rapping. He started the match on fire. He tried the John Cena comeback, but he got shut down. And Gunther had this match won with that powerbomb, but he lifted the pin up, locked in the sleeper. R-Truth kind of goes out the same way John Cena tapped.
Well, I mean, he didn't tap, though, like Cena.
Truth?
He just kind of passed out, I think.
I could swear R-Truth tapped.
I don't think so. I think he passed out.
I don't
even
know,
still, I kind of wish that I kind of wish that R-Truth never lost that persona that he came back with. That
Ron Killings part.
Yeah, Ron Killings persona. I kind of wish we never lost that, because I feel like that could have had more. That could have had distance as a legit champion. While R-Truth, I don't know. But next up, you had Rey Mysterio pick up the victory over Austin Theory, but it was by disqualification. Austin Theory, his entrance, new theme song and everything. What did you think of new theme song and stuff like that?
I have to actually hear the new theme song. I didn't hate the new theme song from what I've experienced with it so far, but
yeah,
I don't think
I
the
thought it was
entrance
good.
is different.
I thought that the theme song, I did like the theme song and everything like that. I don't think that I don't know. The crowd response, though, I wanted it to be louder. I don't know. Maybe I'm comparing it to Dirty Dom a little bit too much of a heel response, but we'll see what happens with everything.
You could physically see people booing. I don't know if the microphone was turned up for the music or whatnot. He got
It's possible.
He got a much louder reaction when he was talking at the beginning of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was just because people knew that he was coming out that
I don't know,
it kind of didn't adjust. But
Paul Heyman made Logan Paul go to the ring with him for this match, and Austin Theory controlled most of it, but when Rey Mysterio got the upper hand, Logan Paul got involved. And then after Logan Paul got involved, Penta made his return, took out the Vision, led to everybody asking, well, why the hell? Well, first of all, people were like, Penta returned. Some people were like, Penta returned. Penta returned the other week, if you were paying attention, in a match with Rey Mysterio at Guerra de Titanes. And then that led to other people saying, well, why didn't he just work the match with Rey Fenix? But again, who knows if he was
that's
100% cleared to compete. Obviously, he would have been getting physical if he wasn't cleared in some capacity.
That's the thing. I don't know. I guess I was more so like, why not just last week? But I guess on the other hand, you have to promote that matchup as well. And you're probably safer not promoting him in a matchup at AAA when you don't know if he's going to be 100% cleared. Because then if you get to the day he's not 100% cleared, then you're in trouble.
I think it'd be right up the alley of AAA to do that, but But I mean, now we still have Lucha Bros to look forward to. I think maybe we could see it in January, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure, but we're coming up by the time. No, not by the time you listen to this, but actually, yeah, by the time you listen to this, because was the first Netflix Raw last year on January? When did Penta debut? Was it January 1st? But was it January 1st or no?
I believe so. I think they mentioned that it was his 1 year, like his anniversary when he returned.
Yeah, so
which doesn't.
He debuted January 13th. His was the 13th.
Yeah, it was in January though.
Yeah, January 13th.
Yeah, I feel like they mentioned that it was that he debuted a year ago.
I mean, technically it was. Well, I mean, they also had those vignettes.
True.
Leading up to
All right, we can go with the technicality of that.
But again, I mean, technically this was coming up on his year.
Yeah.
So, after that, we had Maxine Dupree. She spoke about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch came out and refuted the claim that she tapped out. Maxine said that if she gets a hold of Becky Lynch's leg, she'll either break it or Becky Lynch could tap out again. Becky Lynch wanted to give Maxine credit because when she first saw Maxine, she thought she was awful. But she's gotten a tiny bit better recently. And she was able to steal the win, according to Becky Lynch. I think it's interesting because we saw Becky Lynch way back when. Was she not the same competitor to give Maxine that pep talk?
I kind of want to say she did in the past.
I think that was her.
I don't recall.
But Becky Lynch tried to plant seeds of doubt in Maxine's head for next week. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line. She's newly married, by the way. That was a pretty big wedding. Otis never fails to. I don't understand Otis's wedding attire ever.
The guy himself is a gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, he shows up in like Hawaiian gear to everything. It seems.
I feel like he's your I don't know, doppelganger.
My fun side.
Yeah.
But
like if you had the opportunity to show up in whatever gear that you want to a wedding, you would definitely.
I hate getting dressed up in suits and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would rather stand out though.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But I'm really hoping that Maxine retains the Intercontinental Championship next week. I have doubts. I feel like it can lead to Becky Lynch maybe cheating to win. Maxine gets a rematch. She doesn't win. AJ Lee takes the title from Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I would really hope that Maxine, come next week when we talk about it, is still Intercontinental Champion.
Yes. I feel like she has to be, but Becky Lynch and her heel run right now is just phenomenal. Everything that's happening. But on the other hand, what happens if we get Jessica Carr as the referee again? You know, that could definitely play into, like, or maybe the referee gets taken out and then Jessica Carr is that second backup referee that comes in to make the call. It could happen. You know,
we shall see.
But main event of the evening, the Usos picked up the victory to defeat AJ Styles and Dragon Lee to become the new tag team champions. First off, intro song. What the hell?
Before first off, backstage, Jey Uso was totally in his own head. And Jimmy gave him a pep talk. Jimmy gave him a pep talk that reminded me of WrestleMania 20 where Eddie Guerrero fired up Benoit. And I really hate that promo was like so good because of who was in it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what that segment reminded me of. And based on that promo, that segment, I thought they were either winning or breaking up after Monday Night Raw.
I can see that.
But like you brought up, the Usos. They came out to Jey Uso's theme song, and I'm like, click, don't care about this match.
I know.
But they won me back. I will say they won me back. This was a really good match.
They did, but I just didn't understand why the switch back.
We had it 2 weeks ago.
Make up your mind with what you want to do with it.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. This match, though, it was chaotic at times. The Usos kind of used some cheap tactics during the match. But there were some good moments. AJ kicked out of the Uso splash from Jimmy. Jay kicked out of the Styles Clash. AJ Lee set up for that double stomp Styles Clash combo, but Jimmy came back and broke it up. And then AJ went for the phenomenal forearm. He got rocked with super kicks from both Usos. They took out Dragon Lee. They hit the 1D, got the victory there. I wish AJ Lee retained because I was enjoying them as a team. I think that's the end of the team. I think we're in AJ Styles' last year of wrestling. And we'll see him go out singles competitor. I don't know. And then after the Usos won, they were again with Jey Uso's theme song.
I agree with you. I think that this is the end of AJ Lee. I think that we're not going to see AJ Styles teaming up with Dragon Lee anymore.
Which makes no sense. How do you set up... It seemingly sets up a freaking match for Dragon Lee and AJ Styles versus El Ojo. I don't know if that can still happen. Maybe that could be their last hurrah or what. I have no idea.
I don't know. I would let this be the one to go out on.
I mean, well, they already had other live event matches. I saw Dragon Lee bow to AJ afterwards.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, a one-off match in AAA, I think.
I don't know. They had the big AAA match already, no?
But again, it almost seems like they set up to have that match, so I don't know.
I don't know. I want to see the AJ singles run now.
Yeah,
again.
But again, that's like, it's not like stuff that happens on AAA is canon.
Carries over.
Always, yeah.
That makes sense.
Some things do, obviously, but not everything. But that's Monday Night Raw. Moving over to NXT. Kicked off with Ethan Page picking up the victory over Moose to retain the championship. Ethan Page interrupted the introductions and attacked Moose before the bell rang. To me, they fought outside the ring too much. They did the barricade spot. Ethan Page eventually hit the twisted grin and got the victory there.
I'm not a fan of this.
Of how much?
I really don't think... Huh?
How much of this were you not a fan of? What wasn't? What didn't you like?
Most of it. I don't like that Moose lost, because Moose is... I understand it was for a championship, but maybe it didn't have to be for the championship, or it didn't have to be... I
think the whole setup was specifically needed to be the championship.
Then I don't think that he needed to lose, or I don't think he needed to lose clean like that. Moose is the
I don't know
biggest,
if I would necessarily
like,
say there was cleanness to that. The whole you had all that outside stuff happening.
Yeah, but even still, he's one of the most powerful powerhouses on TNA, where there's not many other people on the TNA roster that are more powerful than Moose. And for him to not pick up the victory, I don't think it's too good. I go back and forth with this steel steps spot. It was just a nasty spot to take.
I liked that spot.
It looked like the way, like if he landed flat back on it, okay, but he landed like on the edge of it, and I never liked edge spots like that. Even if it's accidental, I don't like the edge spots like that.
Also, right now, the only person in NXT that has a TNA title, or vice versa, I think is just Stax. Part of me thinks... I mean, we've been seeing... I guess you would say vignettes of sorts for Obafemi on Raw and SmackDown. There's a possibility that Leon Slater, I mean, does the unthinkable and becomes NXT champion.
I mean, that would be awesome. I would be open to him doing that.
It should be very interesting to see if that happens. But after that, we had Izzy Dame come out. She spoke, by the way, with the calling beforehand. Nico Vance is back. A lot of people were like, well, that's it for Nico Vance when he was chased out a few weeks ago. But she said she's not scared of Tatum. And Izzy said that Tatum needs to look in the mirror to see what's wrong with her. And going after Shawn Spears and Nico Vance is not going to solve her problems. She said that she was Tatum's cure. She's the reason why she had the title and everything. And then Tatum Paxley showed up and she said that she's sorry that Izzy Dame is insecure and feels the need to control others. And she said that Izzy is the one that's too scared to look in the mirror and face herself. And she doesn't need a friend. Or I should say a friend like Izzy. People, I think, were chanting Lyra in that moment. Mm-hmm. But it sets up a match for next week between the two of them. I liked Tatum Paxley. Even though she was facing the opposite way, she knew that Izzy was going to go for that big boot. And she was able to duck that.
Yeah, I really liked that spot. I thought that spot was perfectly timed. You know, it really was perfectly timed.
But again, do we see the Righteous or something next week? I don't know. Probably not. We had high hopes for that at the PLE.
I don't.
Now that they're in TNA, who knows?
I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would put them with Tatum Paxley.
I mean, a few weeks ago, you were all for it.
I know, but I don't know.
I think they fit together, but we'll see.
Yeah.
After that, you had JC Jane pick up the victory over Ren Sinclair. Backstage earlier, Kendall Gray was taken out. I think we would assume that it was someone from Fatal Influence here. Other people were like, oh my God, it's Britt Baker.
No.
I mean, anything's a possibility. Who knows? I have no.
People really said that?
Yeah, but again, anything's a possibility. She hasn't been used on TV in what feels like 2 years. I don't remember the last time she was on TV.
I don't. Maybe she's just like legit. Maybe shoot wise. Maybe she's just too busy with her clinic.
I don't know.
Like focus on dental work and stuff like that, where it's just difficult for her to get to the road to do everything. I don't know.
But JC Jane and Ren Sinclair was a pretty even match. And I'll always say how good it is to see Ren Sinclair in matches like this, where this match, like, it could have easily been over somewhat quickly. Like, even after JC Jane hit that knee, I was like, oh, this is maybe over right here. But she kicked out of that. She kept going. She did lose to the Rolling Encore, but I'm such a fan of Ren Sinclair. And I like all the submission moves that she brings to these matches. So
yeah, and I think with Ren Sinclair and even JC Jane, I mean, specifically more so JC Jane, I feel like she could have been. You could easily say her name for Female Wrestler of the Year last year too, with the year that she had JC Jane. But Ren Sinclair, that submission with it reminded me a lot of the cattle mutilation.
I mean, it is technically,
but I like how she puts her spin on it, where she's just rotating around the body a few times.
And then afterwards, Fatal Influence attacked Ren Sinclair. Kendall Gray tried to make the save, but she did make the save. She actually had JC tap out.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me think that she's not going to become champion next week.
I agree.
But we don't know who.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
We don't officially know who took her out, so maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Next up, you had a Joe Hendry concert taking place in the middle of the ring. A nice sing-along with the fans, and it was very catchy. Everybody was having a great time until the lights went out.
Booker T was hilarious here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe Hendry spoke about winning the TNA Championship, being in the Royal Rumble, facing Randy Orton at WrestleMania, slamming The Miz at Saturday night's main event, as well as joining NXT. And then his song, basically, I think he included Dark State in the song.
I don't remember.
And Dark State interrupted. They attacked him. We have not seen Tony D'Angelo recently.
That's true. I feel like that's a flop. No, after he comes back, shouldn't
they mentioned him? But we didn't see him. I don't know what's happening there.
Like, I feel like since he returned, we should be seeing him more consistently.
Maybe now that it's a new year, we'll see more. I mean, SmackDown this week went to 3 hours. So by the time this episode is out, we could have already seen new people from NXT on SmackDown.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because they have to beef up. They obviously have to beef up the roster with that extra hour.
Yeah, Brandon's going to suffer
big time. But again, like when they first started those 3 hour shows, they were like not great. But by the time they stopped doing the 3 hour shows, I think they got it like down pat to where it was really well done. It just sucks that it ends at 11 p.m.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I could never get into the 3 hour episodes because it just, I don't know. I used to be able to, but
how
then
long
as I
were
get
you
to
watching Monday Night Raw? They were 3 hours.
I can't even remember. But overall, just getting to the 2-hour point, my mind is already starting to clock out, and I feel like it's the main event, and then I get reminded that like there's a segment or something right after. I'm like, oh yeah, there's another hour. But then by that time, mentally, I'm already like, I'm good. So we'll see what happens, though.
After that, we had Tavion Heights pick up the victory over Lexis King to win the Speed Tournament. I wanted to see King win just so Jasper Troy would, I guess, retain the title. Now I'm like, not so sure. Because I feel like with Heights winning, especially, so Heights won in like 8 seconds.
Okay, first off, what I didn't like is that they're like, oh, that's the record and stuff like that. But he picked up the victory in, like, so I think it was Tavion Heights picked up the victory in like 8 seconds just maybe 2 weeks ago too. No,
I don't recall that.
Somebody picked up the victory. I'm pretty positive Tavion Heights picked up the victory in less than 10 seconds on NXT. It could be 2 to 3 weeks ago, and it was like the record, and it may have been against King as well. And I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't like that.
I don't recall that, but if he's winning that quickly, how do you not have him go on to beat Jasper Troy for that title? Like, unless something happens in that match, there's no other option there. I don't know. And we didn't really see Jasper Troy do much. So
I kind of could see it happening. You know, they're building up Tavion Heights really, really well. I can see it.
After that,
but next up, you had OTM pick up the victory over Swipe Right. Swipe Right tried their best, but no can do against OTM. Yeah. OTM is just... I want to see... Me and you are on the same page about OTM. We want to see them really pushed hard. And I hope that in 2026 we see them just tear house.
Like, I think this was an obvious outcome, but OTM, they need bigger wins.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with them. This wasn't a one-sided match, so I wouldn't consider it like an actual dominant match. Obviously, they controlled most of it, but who knows where this leads to.
Yeah.
Main event of NXT. I don't know how I feel about this. You had Ricky Saints pick up the victory over Javon Evans. Started before...
I know exactly how
started,
I feel with
started
this.
Before the bell like the opening match. Fought outside like the opening match. Did a barricade spot like the opening match. I get why they would have that in this match, but why have that earlier as well then?
Yeah.
I didn't get that. They did a good job at making it look like Javon could win. Or was going to win, but... And like at one point, the referee even caught Ricky Saints with his feet on the ropes. Javon kicked out at one after that tornado DDT, but he ends up getting Rochambeau'd. He reversed a spear and hit that cutter, but then accidentally hit the referee with the cutter. Ricky low blowed Javon and got the victory.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if I like the way that this went either.
Like I said before, by the time this show airs, he could already have made his like official main roster debut on SmackDown.
And I get it too that it's Ricky Saints and he's a full heel, but I don't know. I feel like it was just a cheap ending with the low blow into the finish and stuff. I just feel like it was a cheap ending.
And the fact that the other referee just like ran out, like you didn't see him do that.
Exactly.
Like, what are you working, Okada versus Takeshita or something like that?
Yeah, I agree. That referee came right down on that 3. There was nothing.
There was no hesitation. The ref was right there ready to go.
But he didn't see the low blow.
Yeah, exactly. Although maybe he saw the referee get knocked out and then took that long from when he saw it to get out to make the count. And that's why he didn't see the low blow. Who knows?
I know. Yeah. I don't know, but I definitely understand what you're saying with it. I mean, once again, Javon Evans could easily be coming up too. So
Yeah. So that
there's
is
a lot of what ifs coming up.
big time. That's NXT. Moving over to the 3-hour SmackDown. I will say it wasn't as bad as the original 3-hour format. Like I said, once it got towards the end of that 3-hour format, they had it down pat. You had The Miz open the show, interrupt the start, by the way, just to complain. And he said that he should have been the one to make John Cena tap out. I popped at him calling out Timothy Chalamet, though. But he addressed Joe Hendry. He addressed the nickname that got brought back last week. He yelled about being the locker room leader, and then Randy Orton returned. He teased an RKO, but he continued his entrance. An entrance that went on for, I think, way too long. Miz hyped him up. He said that they are the locker room leaders. He pitched Miz KO, and then he ate an RKO and Randy left. That was like a 20-minute segment. And then Randy Orton ran into Cody later on. He said he's coming for that title. So we finally know that Randy Orton is coming for the WWE Championship. The 3-hour format, it seems like the only thing that I would really wish they didn't do is just extended entrances. We don't need extended entrances. That's what there was too much of. You had Rio, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair pick up the victory of the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend. I think the match was fine. I liked when Charlotte did that slingshot into the ring to try to pin Nia Jax, but Nia held on. She hit a leg drop onto Charlotte. Lash Legend at one point tagged herself in. She had a huge big boot mid-springboard to Io. I thought that was great. I liked when Rhea whipped Kairi Sane into Asuka to, I guess she was about to do a move to Kairi. And she used Kairi as a weapon, so I thought that was cool. The match got a bit chaotic. Rhea Ripley caught Kairi Sane, hit a riptide, and then Io hit the over the moonsault to get the victory there. I really can't see them winning the titles on Monday Night Raw, though. After that, we had Kit Wilson in the ring, cutting a promo, calling the fans of Buffalo toxic. And then Matt Cardona interrupted. Matt Cardona picked up the victory over Kit Wilson. Corey Graves confirmed that he's back on SmackDown officially as Matt Cardona. I think that's amazing. It wasn't a one-sided match, but I think we had to assume that Matt Cardona was winning that, and I think that was great. What he did from when he was released from WWE till now on the independent scene, I can't see that being replicated. So I think it's important to give him his flowers for that independent run. And I'm very excited to see what happens next with Cardona. I like the fact that it started with radio as Zack Ryder and then cut off and remixed into like an Always Ready remix. I don't know if we're going to just have that as an entrance from now on or if we're going to have just that remix of Always Ready. But like I said, I'm very happy to see Matt Cardona back in WWE on SmackDown. They're beefing up this roster. Desperately needed a beef up for SmackDown. You had Sami Zayn come out. He spoke about how he got to sit ringside for John Cena's match at Saturday Night's Main Event. And he spoke about how his kid asked him why they called John Cena the Never Seen 17. And he explained it, and his kid was like, well, how many times have you won the championship? So obviously he had to tell his kid 0. And he said that he spoke so much last year about wanting to become WWE champion. Now he's here to do it. Matt Cardona, by the way, is one title off of being a Grand Slam champion. I think it's time to finish that story. I don't know if we can see him win the WWE championship, but I would really, really be happy to see that. But Trick Williams interrupted Sami Zayn. He said he's on SmackDown now. He's coming for the championship as well. Sami Zayn said he's got no problem teaching Trick Williams what it means to be, I don't know if he said humble or humbled. I forget which. But then Trick later on interrupted a moment between Nick Aldis and Phoenix that sets up Trick's match on SmackDown next week. You had Carmelo Hayes pick up the victory over Johnny Gargano to retain. Ilya spoke to Carmelo Hayes beforehand and asked him if he's going to keep doing the open challenges. And Carmelo Hayes agreed. He said he's going to keep doing them. I'm happy to see that, especially on a 3-hour SmackDown. He also ran into Miz before the match, and I thought that segment between the two of them was funny. Gargano has his heel theme song back. And this was a very entertaining match. A very lengthy, entertaining match. They had some good reversals in this match. Gargano's nose got bloodied up at one point. Candice LeRae got involved, which allowed for Johnny Gargano to hit that air raid crash from the middle rope. But Carmelo Hayes eventually hit the first 48. He hit nothing but net and got that victory. And then there was a segment backstage with Tama Tonga and Shinsuke Nakamura. So they are still teasing Tama Tonga going after the U.S. Championship, but we'll see what happens with that, given that there is still that open challenge concept. You had Cody Rhodes come out. He spoke, honestly, it seemed like forever. And then McIntyre showed up on the screen. He introduced the 3 stages of hell. Normal match, falls count anywhere, a cage match, which it seems like it's a little bit tame, but every single match made sense. And Drew McIntyre ends up smashing a picture of Cody and Dusty from Cody's bus just to egg Cody on to attack him, which obviously Cody can't do. But Cody took off looking for Drew McIntyre. McIntyre appeared in the ring and lit that picture of Dusty Rhodes and Cody on fire. After that, we had Julia pick up the victory over Chelsea Green to become the new U.S. champion. Julia started this on fire. Kiana James got involved while Chelsea had a pin, and Alba Fire took her out, but that pin was pretty detrimental because from there, Julia was able to hit a butterfly suplex from the top rope, which I really liked that, and she rolled right through, hit that Northern Lights bomb, and got the victory. I would have preferred for Chelsea Green to retain, but at the same time, how could you not have Julia win this? Like, how do you have Julia not win? So, and I think they desperately need to build Julia back up. And I'm hoping that this is finally it. Where Chelsea Green goes from here, I don't know. I was enjoying her as the U.S. champion. I'm enjoying her on SmackDown. Now that Matt Cardona is on SmackDown, who knows what we'll see. And in the main event, we saw Damian Priest pick up the victory over Aleister Black in an ambulance match. Got a big Ryback mention here. But I think it's pretty cool that we got a match from them to close SmackDown a few months ago. And now we got this match. This match was awesome. I like that they went to the ambulance almost right away, but they did pretty quickly go back to the ring. I liked when Aleister Black had Damian Priest's head on that chair ringside, and then he kicked the chair. Zelina Vega at one point went to, I guess, get involved and open the ambulance. Rhea Ripley was in there. And she chased Zelina to the ring. She took Zelina out with a riptide. I popped big time for Damian Priest using a fireball. That's a throwback to their match from 3 months ago. Damian Priest dragged out a platform gimmick that was holding equipment. I guess kind of similar to what he got put through a few months ago. But he went to put Aleister Black through it. Black got out. They went and got another equipment case. And Damian Priest looked like he was going to do the Razor's Edge onto it, but he pushed it away, ends up doing it onto the windshield of the ambulance. I thought that was good. And then he dragged Aleister Black to the top of the ambulance to push him off through the platform gimmick. He pushed him off of it. And Damian Priest couldn't open the back of the ambulance, so he went to the side door, and that made me think somehow, some way there was somebody else in there. Even though we saw inside already with Rhea Ripley. But that wasn't the case. He was able to open the back door. He got Aleister Black in there. He closed the side door, closed the back door, won the match. That was a very entertaining ambulance match. And a pretty good start to a 3-hour SmackDown. And so that is SmackDown. After seeing everything from AEW this past week, I don't know the next time I'm going to watch. I think it's cool that Willow Nightingale won the championship from Mercedes Moné, but at the same time, they did nothing to establish Willow as the tag team champion. They did nothing to establish the tag team championships, and I'm just done. Right now, I'm just done. So, not going to talk about AEW, but hey, Brennan, got any shout-outs?
Hi, this is Casey Kasem, and up next on the American Top 40, Brandon shout-outs.
Stranger Things gets the first shout-out. The whole show is officially over now. Like I said earlier, the second part came out on, I think it was on Christmas, and then the final episode came out New Year's Eve. And I think despite how much hate this season got, I'm going to say this was my favorite season.
Wow, that's pretty bold.
I think the finale was perfect. I think we'll right now, we'll mention, we are going to say spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Yes, spoiler alert. If you are watching Stranger Things or plan to and don't want to be spoiled, please skip right now. You skip just 2 minutes, maybe 10. But that's pretty bold that this was your favorite season. I don't think that this was my favorite season, but it was a very great season and an amazing finale to the entire series. I don't agree with all the hate that people are having on it. I feel like people are just picking up things that they don't like just for the sake of it, maybe because it's the last season or people have such high hopes for stuff and it's not coming through. But I feel like also, on the other hand, if everybody had these theories and stuff going to their direction that they want it to go in, there's always going to be somebody on the other side that's going to dispute and say that this is still the most awful season.
And it's funny because some of those theories went super viral. The Duffer Brothers were like, we've seen a bunch of theories. Not one person got it right.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the theories that I've seen, not one person got it right. There was even a theory that went super viral and people were like, well, nobody's commenting on it. This is probably the way it ends.
What was the theory that you saw?
There was a whole chain of stuff. It was like an hour-long theory, but not really an hour.
Geez.
It wasn't really an hour. It felt like an hour. But
I saw a few really good ones where, one that I saw was about 8. Well, spoilers, everybody. Now is the time to fast forward. I started to look in, realize how 8, her name is Kali, and that's the goddess of destruction and everything like that with Hindu just beliefs and everything. So I was like, okay, maybe death, destruction, everything like that's going to happen through 8. So I was expecting more of a larger impact than what happened with that. Total swerve in the 8 department, and
I
don't know.
I think a lot of people assumed she was going to be turning heel.
Yeah, big time. I mean, we almost had a heel turn.
Yeah,
we almost had the heel turn.
I will say I popped big time when Hopper mentioned that he had a job offer out in Montauk, because that's what this whole show is based on. I don't think people realize that the show is based off of in quotes, real events.
Loosely.
We don't know. We don't know what happened in Montauk.
But it's loosely based on the story of Montauk Project. I mean, there's also the Philadelphia Project that plays a factor, too, with stuff that was taking place with the play and so on and so forth.
And now,
I definitely pop for that.
Based on the credits, I think they left this very open-ended. Because based on the credits, I think we can assume that maybe it was just all part of a campaign or something that Mike had written. And we lived through the campaign. Maybe it wasn't a game. Maybe 11 actually made it out like Mike said. When she got there, it gave me Paradise Falls vibes from Up. But
yeah, that's true.
Overall, it's like it's really a never-ending story.
Never-ending story. Speaking of which, we didn't get another appearance from Susie.
Don't care. Didn't need her. She
Oh,
annoyed
man.
me.
I don't know.
She annoyed me. I'll say
Really?
it. I hated her.
What?
Couldn't stand her.
I wanted to see Dusty have that kind of moment with her again. You know? And then we never, like, I wanted to see another Susie moment with Dusty.
Didn't need it. She was, I will say, I thought everyone said Barb was going to be on the show, and
yeah, Barb, Eddie.
Well, Eddie, they said, was dead.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of wanted to believe. Then I saw theories of Vampire Eddie.
Wow.
That I didn't really get behind, though. But, yeah,
But
this
overall,
entire season, I thought it was great.
I'm going to say I choose to believe Mike's story. I'm going to choose to believe that Elle is out there.
So I actually like that it's up to the viewers to decide what you want to believe. I want to believe that. I want to believe Mike's story, and I like how he ended it. And
it makes sense. It also makes sense where like the gimmicks were going off. How could Elle have her powers?
Yeah. I mean, the big swerve, I mean, I was totally not getting it. And the fact that they actually got to go on their date to Enzo's, I don't think that they actually made mention that it was Enzo's, but I think it's safe to presume that it was a date at Enzo's finally.
Wasn't there a sign that said Enzo's or no?
I don't think so. I didn't see it on the menu or any signs of it, but I know that was like, because I rewatched a lot of the seasons before to lead up to this. And in the previous season, well, no, I think it's season 3 with the Russians, that was where they were going to go on their date. And then Joyce didn't show up for it or canceled on it. And then they were going to meet at Enzo's again. So I like to think that was that.
Yeah, I just think this was a perfect ending.
I agree, and I mean,
even the adult,
now we actually have
kids.
We have a spinoff.
I think the adult kids worked fine. I don't know if we do have a spinoff. That rumor, I think, was just a rumor.
Was it? I think that we actually do have a spinoff.
I don't know,
but I also wanted to make mention that I did love Dusty's speech and the throwback to Eddie. Like, that was spot on what Eddie said he was going to do at his graduation when he got his diploma. And for Dusty to live out Eddie's speech.
Why are you not calling him Dustin?
I don't know.
You're acting like Susie.
Yeah. It's a combination. I blame Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, but I love that throwback. And then the blasting of Iron Maiden, I loved. And they span over to, like, Dustin's mom and her response to him flipping off the principal and stuff like that.
Yeah. I like when D&D was
awesome.
Mentioned. Every single time D&D was mentioned when Hopper was there, I popped. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then
there.
Also the ending where the kids then go into the basement to play. I thought that was like a really... It was like a good thing because they get to have a childhood that, even though they were all taken, if that stuff happened, they get to still have that childhood that the others really kind of didn't.
Yeah, and I like that it showed like the kids that were together during that entire aspect, that they were able to be together. And like they kind of had their own group with Holly being the lead still. Like, I like how Holly went to such a character where she's like the lead character of their group now. And it was just so cool that they just went running downstairs to play D&D, and they were complaining how they said that they were going to be done already and everything. And then I like the follow-up as to like Nancy's character and Steve and everything like that. Them teasing Steve's death was perfect too.
Yeah.
Because they alluded to that on, I think, Jimmy Fallon, right? I think Jimmy Fallon, they alluded to it. And the rumors of Steve dying was huge. So I like that we still had that moment in the pause of that taking place. Like them going, I think they went pitch black for like 2 seconds. And then you had the reach out. So I Yeah. Thank you, Stranger Things.
I think also when Murray did the bomb to blow up the helicopter, I thought he was going to jump off with the bomb.
I thought so too.
I was like, I don't want to see him go.
Himself.
I was like, I was not ready to see him go. But
yeah, I was like, when he was just like he said like this is crazy and stuff like that. I'm like, oh no, he's gonna do it. It like yeah, I thought that was wild.
And then we also, I think, both of us thought we almost had a face turn from Vecna.
So close. It could have happened right there, but
and a lot of people were like,
out.
how did it took way too short amount of time to defeat them, blah, blah, blah. I feel like Vecna was just like beyond broken, especially after seeing what he saw inside the cave.
Wait, what do you mean with what you said before that?
What do you mean? That it took
what do you mean?
The cast too quickly to defeat them?
Oh, that it took too quickly?
Yeah. Which again,
I thought that
people were saying that the Duffers had said that Netflix made them cut a ton of time from the show, so maybe there's a lot more footage that shows more of a battle, more of a struggle.
I don't know. I thought that the entire battle scene was perfectly timed. I feel like if it was longer than that it may have... I don't know. I didn't think that it was too long or too short or anything like that. I thought that it was perfectly done. I thought that the Vecna... Yeah.
But I think I feel like he was a broken person. Like he builds up that strength or whatever to get into the cave, but the kids, they all run into the mine shaft, and then he happens to see himself do what he did to that doctor or whatever the guy was, the scientist. And then that part between him and Will, where that FaceTime almost happened, turn.
Face turn.
I just said FaceTime. Goddamn Apple.
Yeah, we got you.
But yeah, so when that face turn almost happened, I just feel like he's a broken person. He couldn't accept the fact that he was being controlled. And we saw quite the opposite with Holly. We saw quite the opposite with Will.
Yeah, and I mean, he even said that he was he wanted to be controlled. Like he said, like it was them together, like they were one.
Couldn't accept it. So overall,
yeah.
I have
that performance was incredible, though. What he did.
Yeah, I have no major complaints about the Stranger Things finale.
Same here. I no nothing. Oh, I did see, like we mentioned, the spinoff. I saw that the Duffer Brothers did say that there was a spinoff, but it's not going to have any current characters, and it's not going to be in Hawkins. It's going to be somewhere else. Who knows what's true and what's just hearsay, you know?
Well, my next shout out goes to Ripple. It came out last month on Netflix. It follows 4 strangers in New York City who all become connected through different small events based on the ripple effect, where one thing leads to another. It kind of...
I wanted to see that.
It reminds me of the show This Is Us. Did you ever see that or no?
I saw a few. I saw like 30. Saw maybe 15 minutes of one episode, and I said, "I'm not watching this. This is just emotionally draining."
It's not
like I don't want to torture myself.
It's not heavy like This Is Us was. But I think if you enjoyed that show, you should check out Ripple. I don't see many people talking about it. It doesn't seem like Netflix is really pushing it at all. But I enjoyed this show. I would hope that there's a season 2. It ends where there should be a season 2, so hopefully there is. My last shout out goes to Regretting You, which is based on the novel by the same name. It's streaming on Paramount Plus now. It's a movie. I had no idea that this movie was going to be so deep, but it stars McKenna Grace, Allison Williams, Dave Franco, Mason Thames, basically, without giving anything away, an accident happens and it uncovers family secrets.
I know what you're talking about. That looked very interesting, but I also don't like the premise of it.
It's a romantic drama film. Scott Eastwood's in it. Willa Fitzgerald, Clancy Brown, Sam Morales is also in it. I think I don't know. I think the movie critics who reviewed it for Rotten Tomatoes mostly hated it, but the actual people who paid to see it disagreed with those reviews. So I thought this was a good movie. Obviously, I never read the book. It's not a book that I would read, but I enjoyed it for what the movie was. So I would say check it out if you have Paramount Plus. But those are my shout-outs. Now it's time for
Mark Out Moment of the Week.
That is right, our Mark Out Moment of the Week. I mean, still on Stranger Things, I think just hearing that Montauk mention. And then also them
I'm
leaving.
Just gonna say Stranger Things.
Them leaving it open to Elle maybe being out there.
Yeah, I'm happy that Hop got his happy ending, and Joyce too. Yeah, I totally marked out for all of Stranger Things. The hype leading into it. I mean, it's even the big topic for Monday Night Raw upcoming at Barclays Center is surrounded by Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe we're gonna have to break the walls down. Maybe.
Who knows? Who knows
But
indeed. I will also say that I marked out at Totocon posted a set from Andre the Giant, 4 signed Shikishi boards with hand and feet prints. Also included pants and shoes from him. It was just over $12,000, but I think based on how much that stuff seems to go for, it seemed like it was like a steal. But I think it would be like some sort of dream to own something like that. I think it's really cool to have that. Like that, I would... Sometimes they post things on there that I'm just like, how do they have this? It was like really crazy.
Now it's a part of their museum on display for a long time too.
I don't think it's for a long time. Isn't it just like leaving soon?
I don't know. I thought that it was going to be up there for a while.
I thought it said it's leaving in January.
It's possible.
But I think that's just like a cool thing. If I had the $12,000, I would I guess I would own Andre the Giant's autograph and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The price changed again. How does that happen? I don't know how that's happening.
Yeah, if you're in
it's until January 12th.
Check it out. Yeah, if you're in Japan, go check it out for sure.
But that is the Mark Out Moment of the Week, and that is episode 778. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, Happy New Year. But you can follow us on Twitter at Markin Out, at BTTG161 on all platforms, Chris Sweendog, CM Sweeney85, David PTDPT, Facebook.com/MarkinOut, YouTube and Instagram are MarkinOut11, ProWrestlingTees.com/MarkinOut if you'd like to support us in that way. Follow us on TikTok at Markin Out. You can rate, review, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio, MarkinOut.com, YouTube, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Have a fantastic week.